Welcome to your Profitable Law Firm podcast. I'm Kelly Brubaker, your dedicated host, passionate about empowering law firm owners. Let's dive into the hidden strategies that lead to overflowing profits, scaled growth, and thriving lives. This is where overwhelm transforms into confidence, enabling you to create and enjoy your dream firm and your dream life.
Before we get into today's topic, I'm excited to share with you that I will be a guest speaker on an upcoming webinar series. The series is hosted by MyCase and AffiniPay and will cover several topics that center around financial wellness for law firms. Registration information will be published in the show notes for the next episode of this podcast. So today, I'm excited about this. We're going to explore a fundamental aspect of practicing law that should be mirrored in your firms: the power of procedures and the impact of documentation. In the practice of law, procedures are not just formalities. They are the pillars that uphold the integrity of the legal process. They ensure that every case is treated with the same level of diligence and care. But when you step back into the business of running your law firm, you may leave these principles on the courthouse steps. That's why today we're going to discuss why it's crucial to bring the discipline of procedures into the daily operations of your firm and how documenting these processes can yield tremendous benefits to your staff and the financial health of your firm. So let's start with clarity. Documented processes act as a roadmap for your team, provide clear directions for routine tasks and complex projects alike. This clarity isn't just about knowing what to do, it's about understanding the why behind each action, which leads to a more engaged and effective team. Moving on to consistency. It's the hallmark of excellence in any field. In a law firm, having a set procedure for everything, from client intake to case management, means that no matter who's working on each client, the service delivered is predictably outstanding. This consistency not only enhances your firm's reputation, but also ensures that clients have a seamless experience every time they engage with your practice. Now consider training. With well-documented processes, training becomes less about memorization and more about understanding. New team members can independently navigate through the firm's procedures, reducing the learning curve and freeing up senior staff to focus on higher value activities. And let's talk about scalability. For a law firm to grow, it needs systems that can handle an increase in volume without a drop in quality. Documented processes are the framework that supports this growth, allowing you to expand your team and client base while maintaining the high standards that set your firm apart. And lastly, we have compliance. In the legal industry, compliance is not a buzzword, it's a lifeline. Documented processes ensure that every action taken within your firm is in line with the latest regulations and ethical standards. They serve as a constant reminder and a checkpoint for every member of your team to stay aligned with the legal landscape. So clarity, consistency, training, scalability, and compliance are not just benefits that procedures will have in your firm. They are necessities for any law firm looking to become more efficient and grow. Procedures are what separates a practice that survives from one that thrives. As lawyers, you respect and adhere to procedures as you practice law. It's time that you give the same respect to the processes within the business of your firm. So now that you understand the importance of documenting procedures, let's shift into the practical steps you can take to effectively document your processes in your firm. So step one, the first step is to identify the key processes that need documentation. Start by listing out the critical functions of your firm. So some examples might be client intake and onboarding, case management, billing and collections, document management, communication protocols, and employee onboarding and training. Step two, once you've identified the key processes, break each one down into individual steps. For instance, the client intake process might be this. Step 1, initial client contact. Step 2, scheduling consultations. Step 3, conducting the consultation. Step 4, client follow-up. Step 5, signing engagement letters. Step 6, setting up the client file. Once you have each step identified, then detail each step as specifically as possible to ensure clarity. So step 3, when documenting each step, use clear and concise language. Avoid legal jargon and technical terms unless absolutely necessary. The goal is to make the procedures understandable for everyone, including new hires who may not be familiar with your firm's specific practices. Step 4, choose the right format. Select a format that suits your firm's needs. Common formats can include written manuals, which would be detailed documents outlining each process, checklists, simple step-by-step lists to ensure all tasks are completed, flowcharts, visual representations of processes, helpful for understanding the sequence of steps, or videos, training videos that visually and verbally explain procedures. Choose the format or multiple formats that best fits the complexity of the process and the learning style of your team. Step 5, leverage technology. Consider using technology to streamline documentation. There are various tools available that can help you create, store, and manage your procedures, such as document management systems, practice management software, project management tools, and workflow automation tools. These tools can make it easier to update and share procedures across your firm. Step 6, involve your team. Involving your team in the documentation process because they're the ones who will be using the procedures daily, so their input is invaluable. Hold workshops or brainstorming sessions to gather insights and feedback from your staff. This collaboration ensures that the documented procedures are practical and effective. Step 7, review and update regularly. Documented procedures should be a living document. Regularly review and update them to reflect any changes in your firm's operations or industry standards. Set a schedule for periodic reviews and encourage your team to suggest improvements as needed. And finally, step 8, train your team. Once the procedures are documented, ensure your team is well trained on them. Conduct training sessions and provide access to the documentation. Make it clear that following these procedures is essential for maintaining consistency and quality in your firm's operations. By following these 8 steps, you can create comprehensive, clear, and practical documentation for your law firm's processes. Not only does this help in maintaining consistency and quality, but it ensures that your firm can scale effectively and adapt to changes smoothly. If you have any questions about today's episode, please let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment below or send me an email to podcast@profitscalethrive.com. And if you know someone who might need to hear this information, please share this episode with them. Or if you're on YouTube, you can tag them below. Be sure to follow and subscribe to get notifications for future episodes. Did you enjoy this episode? Please consider leaving a review. And before I go, remember, profit is something you intentionally plan for in the beginning. It is not a potential bonus at the end of the year. Thanks and have a great day.